is appearing here with me. I'm going to try to really go quick and kind of tee this issue up. This is, again, a bit of a public-private partnership that's been in place for a while. We have seen, as with any development of any size, magnitude, or complexity, some bumps and some soils that weren't quite right and some weather delays and all those things, and it has been a great partnership in terms of working with the city when we've come to you and, in most part, not asked for more money, but asked for time as we've delivered the site. My hope is, as we move through the project, and I say this with pride because I've been given the opportunity to be involved, but it really is pride that should be held by Kurt and his partner Craig. I think everybody will say, as they have made decisions on how to execute this project, they have done a very, very good job of delivering to date, we hope, what the city anticipated. So to walk you through the site, and again, for those who've been around, the old Loman site, since we're referencing old monikers of pieces of property in Overland Park. What's designated on the screen there, Project 1A and 1B, as you know, we came in with a few requests for delays, again, for the soils in the back part there on the east side were a little more challenging than we thought, and we went through all of that. But the promontory, the mixed-use building with apartments over retail is open. I hope everybody's had a chance to tour it. It's a state-of-the-art, first-class mixed-use building. The first thing that was delivered, I think everybody, at least the reports I heard, were pleased. We moved in quickly, got the pad sites repositioned, worked with Alaskan Fur, gave them part of the proceeds to make sure that they were happy and incorporated into site. The parking lots, in a sequential order, were brought up to snuff. And the southern part of the old inline of the Loman Center, as you know, although it wasn't part of the original TIF district, was demolished on time, so we have at least a opportunity to bring development out now outside, at this time, outside of the TIF district, and continuing to work that. Why are we here today? We're here for what's designated on the screen there as our Phase 3. And to put it in your mind's eye so you know what we're talking about, this is Half Price Books, where Half Price Books is. Originally, under the development agreement, Phase 3 speaks to where it comes in the order of things. The idea was we would get to a point after we got the multifamily mixed-use building open, and this was actually a very smart approach, not only by the developer, by the city, and say, what are we going to do there? Let's give ourselves some alternatives. We don't want to overbuild multifamily if the market doesn't want more multifamily. If the market, in terms of retail, is reacting well, let's give ourselves an option under the development agreement in place to go either way. Looking back, I will say, I'm trying, and I've still tried to do it exactly why we put the sequence the way we did, but we put a trigger that if we're going to do retail and not do the multifamily, and the concept at that time, where Half Price Books is, was a refacade. That was in conformance with the development agreement, and we could utilize certain monies to execute that plan, refacade that building. That has approached us, it's January 1st of 2020. If we decide to do multifamily, we have another year to make that decision. Where, and Kurt can dig into as much detail as you would like here, where we find ourselves is a couple of things. One, really doesn't drive the real business decision. How do we develop this out long term that makes sense for the developer and really makes sense for the surrounding area? It's one of those bumps. We never thought, I'm not even sure Half Price Books thought they'd still be in that space today. And right about the time we got going here, they had a decision to make. Do they want to exercise their next option? They had an additional 5-year term. There were just some discussions about them moving. They went ahead and exercised. They've been there, and they actually can be there until July of 2021 under the current term. I've had some discussions with representatives of Half Price Books and actually corporate Half Price Books. They are interested. They know that the time's running out for this site. They have an interest in moving. They're in the market looking for a new space. They don't want to leave Overland Park. They haven't found one yet. So that issue right there, in terms of us facing a January 1st, 2020 decision, what we do, that's a factor. We can't really do anything because we've got a lease there. And it's just one of those things, as time went on with the attention to Project 1A, we end up with. But the more important thing is, and I'm going to paraphrase here, and again, the guy spending the money here is next to me, and he can speak as in-depth as you want. Now's the time. There's two things going on. Great multifamily project. Other great multifamily projects not too far away, down to the north on Metcalf. What's the market going to do? Do we need more multifamily? They're multifamily developers. Do we need another mixed-use building with multifamily over retail? Do we need more multifamily? We're looking over there. We're seeing some great office construction going on right next door. Is that going to produce? Do we do? Or another bit of activity, and this is really rare in this day and age, that southern pad. There's some good conversations going on, which would fit nicely with the corridor of some retail, really retail entertainment type functions that could take that pad and bleed into this area. That could either say, we're just going to do it all retail entertainment there, we're going to do the retail entertainment under the multifamily. What we're asking for, really, when we boil it all down to, is we need some more time to make the decision.